In this video, it's all about the shallow cross. Hey everybody, it's Coach Ross here. This channel is dedicated to the middle school air raid spread offense, any kind of type of spread offense we talk about. We talk about defense. We're going to talk about special teams. We're going to talk about anything and everything football. So if that's something that you're interested in, if that's something you want to be a part of, if that's something you want to join and start grow this community that we have with all these middle school air raid and spread offense coaches, then please subscribe to this video, like this video, and join in with the community, and let's start discussing football and how we can get more kids out, how we can grow this community that has just grown so much in the last few months. Also, players, if the players are interested in watching these videos as well, I hope these help out. If there's any feedback, I'd love to hear it. So this video is going to be about the shallow cross. It's the probably the only drop back we really carry in our offense. There are some other drop back passes I'm looking to get into, but right now, as of right now, the shallow cross is the only one we carry. It's a very dynamic and very lethal drop back pass if done correctly. But this will also be the last video of the series of the base offense that we run in our spread air raid offense. I will show you and bring videos about packages, and I got a bunch of other videos lined up as far as ideas to use with playmakers and all kinds of other things and how to attack different defenses, things like that. But as far as the base offense, the base air raid principle type offense that we use in our offense, this will be the last video for that one. So let's get into it. So we're talking about the shallow cross here. And here we're looking at my doubles formation, the strict doubles formation again. Like you remember in previous videos, we designate F on either side. He can be on either side. We just designate with a certain word. X and H are always on the left. Z and Y are always on the right. X is on, H is off, Z is on, and Y is off. Okay, so what we do with the shallow cross here is pre-snap, and I'm sure you've heard other coaches talk about this as well, run it the same way. Pre-snap, wherever the opposite of the shallow, so in other words, wherever the shallow is going to end up, right, that receiver on that side, so in this case, this is an H shallow play, the Y receiver will have a mandatory outside release, getting vertical, restacking over the corner, getting vertical. Quarterback's first read is a pre-snap read to that player right there. Okay, wherever the shallow is going to end up. So in other words, if this play was reversed and flipped and it was a Z shallow, pre-snap read would be the X receiver. Okay, because the Z shallow will be coming this way. Okay, if that corner is on, or pressed up and is within less than 5 yards, and we like this matchup that we can take advantage of, then the quarterback's just going to get the snap, take one step and throw it. One step and throw it. All right. If not, he comes off of it pre-snap, then his first read obviously is going to be to the shallow. Again, with the shallow, it is a one step, and you are turning toward the sideline, and your aiming point, like I've learned this from Coach Mackey, and I like it, is your aiming point for the H in this case, is your aiming point is straight through that defensive end's heels, and you are running parallel to the line of scrimmage, and it's like a 40-yard sprint to get to the other side as fast as you can to get over there, and you are looking for this green grass right here in this open area across the formation. So that is the quarterback's first read. If he comes off his pre-snap read here, he is looking for the shallow. Okay. If that's not there, if this linebacker here stays or kind of runs with the shallow and they're kind of playing a zone, this corner stays too as well, then he's looking to the dig route. Now, some people run the dig to a 10-yard route. Okay, I find that the play already takes a little bit too long to develop, or takes a while to develop, and it's a long time for middle school offensive linemen to hold their blocks. So what we tell our receivers is, first, you're going to get an outside release. You're going to try and get this man that's on you to turn his shoulders and essentially turn his back to the quarterback. So once you get him turned, but we're going to tell the receiver to make his cut once he reaches a little bit deeper than the linebacker's initial depth. When they started the play pre-snap, their depth, receiver's going to recognize that, and he's going to come up, and right at about their depth, he's going to plant with his outside foot, and he's going to cut across the field. So it'll probably end up being more like a 5 to 7 yard route as opposed to a 10-yard route. It just it seems like it opens up a little bit shorter. Now, if he sees open areas in these gaps here, and he sees a zone versus a man, he's just going to settle up in these areas, right? If he needs to. If not, he's running clear across the sideline, and he's running just like the shallow. He's running a 40-yard dash to the sideline. And the quarterback is looking for this green grass mainly right here, right in this area as well. Okay, but if there is zone, this receiver will just settle up in these open areas with his hands up, and quarterback should see him. Okay, if those are not there, then finally he's coming to his check down, which would be F. Now F is running a swing route to the opposite of where the shallow is going. So the F is running his swing route. So the H is the shallow in this one. He's running his swing to the left. Now he's not running to get past the line of scrimmage. He's running almost to the sideline. He's just staying there. He just stands there, and if he needs to, he can yell ball. But he's just staying there, and he's not going upfield because typically this linebacker will follow, and he's just sitting in this own grass. This is the check down. This is the last ditch effort. This is the last resort right here, thrown it to the running back here. Okay, but typically that running back's going to be open also, because typically what happens is either one of these linebackers, again, is going to be responsible for him, and that's a long way to chase because we see a lot of man defense. It's a long way to chase to try and get even with that running back, because this linebacker right here is more than likely going to be chasing the shallow unless they pass it off. But most of the time we see the receivers get followed along with the linebacker or corner, whoever's lined up with them. Okay. Lastly, we have just the X receiver on the backside, basically just running a clear out. He's not necessarily part of the play unless we see an advantage with this corner that we can take full advantage of. We will tag this. We will usually typically tag this. Now also, if we can too as well, we can take advantage of free yards. If that corner 7 to 10 yards back, we also give this receiver the same rule of, if that's the case and that corner is off, if this corner's 7 to 10 yards off, then we also give this receiver the ability to run his 3-step hitch. We can take advantage of those yards right there and not even worry about the shallow. So we have a few options there as well. Okay, so that is what shallow looks like in doubles. Now, one more thing before I go on to the next formation. We tell, again, our offensive linemen, we talk about vertical dropping, and we tell them to take about a 2-step vertical drop, which means their outside foot, they're kicking out, and they're taking their step with their inside foot back. All right, same thing with all the linemen now. The tackles, they are kicking outwards so that we're not bumping into the right guard or into the guards. All right, but they are dropping back 2 steps. They are not going forward, meeting the defensive lineman head on, because a lot of times what happens is they try and do that. They miss their block or they get beat real fast, and then it's just a natural beeline to the quarterback and the play is blown up. So the idea is here to drop back, create more space and more distance for the defensive lineman to cover to get to the quarterback. And they even have a little bit more distance to get to before they even make contact with an offensive lineman, which then gives the quarterback more time to drop back into the pocket to make his reads. Now the quarterback is taking a 3 to 5 step drop, and he's continually dropping. Okay, if he needs to on that last step, He can step up into the pocket if the pressure is too far up. But by that third step, he's already making his read to either the dig, or I'm excuse me, the shallow or the dig. And if that's not there, he's immediately checking down to the running back. Okay, so again, the read goes pre-snap to the opposite side of where the shallow starts. Pre-snap to the opposite side of where the shallow start with that vertical. Then if that's not there pre-snap, it goes shallow, dig, swing. So shallow, dig, swing on this one. So that is what it looks like. That one we also have, and I'm just going to show it to you. This is the same thing in our doubles formation, but it's just opposite. It is the Z shallow. So the Z would run it. We just rotate it. Okay, so I'm not going to go over it as much. I'm just going to show you that we also have with the Z shallow. So we just call it doubles Z shallow, and that tells everyone what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you what the shallow cross looks like in our 3x1 formation. So here we have trips right, all right, and in our offense, in our shallow cross series, or in our shallow cross drop back passes, our H in the trips, either it's trips left or trips right, will always run the shallow. And typically, again, in our offense, our H is probably our fastest guy on the field. He's our guy that's going to be moved around a lot. He's going to be guys be put in jet motion. So he's typically our fastest guy. Maybe not necessarily our most dynamic athlete. He's outside the running back, but he is our fastest, by far fastest guy, probably the best guy in the open field. So we want him running that quickest route and getting to the sideline as fast as possible. So he is running the shallow. H is running the shallow again. Same thing here. He's trying to run through the defensive line's heels and get to the other sideline as fast as possible. Now, the backside single receiver is actually the one running the dig, not the Z receiver in our trips. It's the backside singled up receiver. And again, in our trips, we bring that backside receiver on the opposite of the trip side. We condense them in and bring them in a little bit more, so it's a little bit easier to run the dig on this type of formation here, because he's condensed in, he's brought in a little bit more. It doesn't take the play as long to develop. And on top of that, he's playing on a corner, and we will have a running back typically take, again, because the running back will be doing his swing opposite of where the shallow is going. So typically the running back is going to take one, possibly even two of these guys with him out into the flats, which then clears up this space right here, right here in the open part of the field, or the middle part of the field, where in this case, the X receiver, he can settle down in these open spaces if he needs to. If not, and it's man defense, he's getting to the other side of the field as fast as possible. And again, he's going to do an outside release, but he's going to pay attention to the depth of the linebackers, and he's going to make his break just at their depth. So he's not necessarily going about 10 yards. He's going from 5 to 7 yards, and then he's making his cut with his outside foot, and he's getting across the field. Again, he's trying to get an outside release, but if he's playing the corner is typically going to have outside leverage. So what he will do is he will aim for that inside shoulder if it is a cornerback that's playing that inside shoulder, and then make his cut, because at that point the corner will more than likely be trailing, because the corner is going to probably guard the outside portion of the field here, so he's going to have that outside leverage. So therefore the receiver will attack his inside shoulder and plant right when he gets to the depth of either that corner or the depth of the linebackers here, and make his plant and go across the field as fast as he can. Now, our opposite two players over here, again, quarterback's going to have pre-snap on this outside receiver first, on the outside receiver and the outside receiver only. Okay, Z in our trips essentially is more of like a decoy as far as running the vertical on this pass play. Our pre-snap again is where the H, or where the shallow starts. So in this one, it would be pre-snap to the Y, right here. If we like that matchup, we're going to take advantage of it. Z is running an outside release, and he's basically kind of flash in front of the safety. If the safety moved over here, typically a lot of times what we do is we see the safety moved over a little bit, and they will cover four. They will cover 3 with 4 people. So we will use this Z receiver here to occupy the safety as well. And then lastly, we are running the F on a swing. Again, he's going to sit out here. He's not going to cross the line of scrimmage. He's going to sit out here, and he's going to yell ball, ball, ball. If he's open and there's nobody there, he's going to yell ball. And if we hit this early and often, then again you will see either this corner, this linebacker, any one of these linebackers kind of cheat up to try and take that away. They might even start playing up with the line of scrimmage, which then opens up little windows behind to where the dig will open up and he can settle up in these open spaces, or it also clears up the space for the shallow because they are focused on the running back. Okay, but it also we might even see this linebacker here make a beeline for that running back, and if we see that, then we just tag a quick little hitch right here to the Z receiver and we kind of have him come off his route. So these were, and I'll show you what it looks like with the other side with trips. It's basically the same thing, just opposite. So again, it's still the shallow. It's still H shallow because H is going to run the shallow. It's just reversed. It's just changed up. And the rules stay the same. The offensive linemen, their rules stay the same as far as their pass blocking here as well. They are going to vertically drop 2 steps. Okay, the tackles are going to kick out wide a little bit to create that formation of that pocket. Quarterback's taking a 3 to 5 step drop, and by that point he's making his decision where to go. Again, the read is still pre-snap, shallow, dig, swing. Okay. Another reason why we also condense this receiver in is because the shallow, if he's able to clear all this traffic, no problem. There is a ton of grass over on this opposite portion of the field that we like to take advantage of. And again, we're going to put our fastest guy in that position to be in that grass with nobody around him, and he's going to be able to make a play and get upfield in a hurry. So that is one of the other reasons why we condensed this one receiver in a little bit on the backside. All right, this was the shallow cross. Again, this was the last base play in our offense. Now we do run package plays that we install to give little wrinkles and little new looks to the defense every week or so. So I will show some of those as well. But I hope you enjoyed the base series of this offense. If there are any questions, please feel free to comment below. Please subscribe. It helps out my channel, and it'll help grow the community. If you liked what you saw here, please give it a like and hit the notifications as well. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.